Cleveland Browns insider Tony Rizzo just dropped a bombshell, saying the Browns have no real plan to develop Shedeur Sanders. From what it sounds like, he's not even getting scout team reps, which is crazy because that's the bare minimum for a young quarterback. Instead of letting him test himself against the first-team defense, the Browns are basically wasting him. This is the kind of thing that raises serious questions about what's really going on inside that organization. Honestly, the NFL should start looking into how the Browns keep mishandling their quarterbacks year after year. If Shedeur Sanders is the third-string QB, then he should at least be on the scout team, helping prepare the defense and learning in the process. But according to Rizzo, the Browns don't even bother with that, which makes no sense at all. It feels like they're just keeping him on the roster to say they have him, without giving him any real shot to grow. That's not player development, it's sabotage. Rizzo's comments shine a light on a bigger issue. The Browns may be repeating the same toxic cycle that's ruined other QBs in the past. I'm going to play the clip so you can hear Tony Rizzo call them out, and then I'll break down why this situation is even worse than it looks.
Is the kid progressing? Is he improving? Is he being developed by the Cleveland Browns?
Riz, history would tell us probably not. If I'm just being fair. But Riz, here's the other thing that you forget. Next year at this time, we're going to have a first-round draft pick on our roster at the quarterback position.
I told you if it were me, if I was Dion or if I had some sort of influence on, I'd tell him, you know what, trade me this. Let me go somewhere where I can have a chance to play. Chris, don't you think there are enough desperate teams out there? Because you know the Browns got it all figured out. You know, Dylan Gabriel's going to be their backup, and then they're going to find their franchise quarterback no matter what next year, right? Because we all believe that.
Tony Rizzo 100%. The Cleveland Browns are flat out refusing to develop Shedeur Sanders. Normally, a third-string quarterback runs the scout team, giving the starting defense live looks. But from everything I see, they're not even letting Shedeur do that. At this point, he's being treated like dead weight, just sitting on the roster collecting dust. People need to wake up. This feels like NFL collusion 2.0 in broad daylight. I'm not usually a conspiracy guy, but the league turned me into one after the way they sabotaged Shedeur Sanders in the draft. He was told by coaches, GMs, and owners that he'd go in the first 2 or 3 rounds, yet somehow he slipped all the way to the 5th. You really think prime-time Deion Sanders wasn't making calls when the 3rd and 4th rounds came around? And still, nobody took Shedeur until the 5th? That doesn't add up unless something shady was going on behind the scenes. And now, it's like the collusion continues. Teams out here desperate for quarterbacks haven't even tried to trade for him. We've heard whispers and rumors, but nothing concrete. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett, who hasn't shown half the potential Shedeur has, was already traded after just a few practices in camp. How can Pickett get moved but Sanders is stuck in Cleveland doing nothing? It's insulting to even suggest Shedeur is a 5th-round talent, because anyone with eyes knows he's not. This situation makes zero sense unless the NFL is purposely trying to bury him. In my opinion, the Browns are part of a bigger system that doesn't want Shedeur to succeed, no matter what his talent shows. And until this issue is addressed, people like me will keep calling it out. Either Cleveland needs to trade him to a team that actually values him, or they need to let him get on the field right now. The more they sit him, the more obvious this collusion looks. At the end of the day, what's happening with Shedeur Sanders and the Browns is bigger than just one player. It's about how the NFL treats talent and hides the truth. Fans can see it, and it's time people start speaking up. If you're with me, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe with notifications on, because I'm going to keep exposing these shady moves until the league has no choice but to face the truth.